What's up, YouTube?
What's up, YouTube? Irish USMC Vet and Poison Stinger bang, over there. Morning HVS. I think we already had somebody else check in. I know we did because I talked to them. Morning, Walter Davis. Let's see. So I posted up the early links this morning. In the last month, 7,600 people plus died every day in America. And now we have the coronavirus. Only a few die. Does that mean that no one is dying from anything else? The news would make it seem that way. If that's the case, coronavirus is coronavirus is the greatest step towards immortality mankind has made. Okay. Sorry, Walter.
I'm kind of curious what's going on behind the scenes during all this coronavirus in the news, bro. Because there's a lot of shit going on we don't know about now.
Are you referring to me and all my preparations?
No, not necessarily, but it's like, I don't know, when they focus this hard on any one thing, it's like, okay, what are they doing behind the scenes, bro?
Yeah, I mean, they're not covering anything else because this is the most sensational. Let's get the most views.
Yeah.
As a prime example, excuse me, we were doing farming videos, and nobody came in to talk about it. So, hey, we'll just switch to this right now. Farming is still going on at my place and at not Russell Scovers. He's been pulling weeds. He's working on it. So, but that's a good thing to talk about right now. Why nobody cares what we're talking about. So essentially, the failed crops from last year that got flooded, and the upcoming hoarding, because now everybody's a prepper. You might want to start thinking about growing your own food and putting some serious thought into it. Do whatever you can, wherever you can, because people are running on food. Last night I was looking, they're selling like one bucket of 1 week supply of food for $400. Wise Foods. So I prefer my food or on the, alive. But I do have some freeze-dried foods like ice cream and stuff that my children would want to eat. But as far as majority of food, it's either fresh, canned, or on the hoof. So today's drink of the day, Rain Orange Dreamsicle.
Ooh.
Very tasty. Has coenzyme CQ10 or CoQ10, branched chain amino acids, and electrolytes, which I need. 300 milligrams natural caffeine, vitamins B3, B6, and B12, and the branched chain amino acid mix. You could look that up. And electrolytes for your drinking pleasure.
How many electrolytes per serving? Just curious. Because that's pretty much salt, right?
Yeah, well, there's different kinds, like the, let's see, electrolytes. 80 milligrams of potassium, niacin, which is vitamin B3, 130%, vitamin B6, 120%, vitamin B12, 250, and sodium, 220 micrograms, 10% of your daily allowance. So not too much.
Well, technically, that's a lot. Because...
Well, I eat a lot of leafy green vegetables, too. So
no.
that
I'm
counteracts
not saying it's a lot for you, technically, but it's a lot for me. Like, if a regular soda, which I don't drink anymore, but if I did, their sodium in a regular soda is 40 milligrams of sodium. I think actually it's just in diet sodas, but I could be wrong on that. But yeah, I've been trying to avoid sodium as much as possible. I got some leg swelling, which is not good. Which I have to take medications for. So. Yeah.
Brian
But I have a
Morlock.
hard time because I love pickles. Pickles.
Ah, I do too, man. I could eat the jar and drink the juice.
Yep, I'm the exact same way. My wife was mad at me because I had a jar a day habit. She said.
All right. Good morning to Brian Morlock. Morning,
Yes.
HVS.
We
HVS
try to
is
get some
having
hand sanitizer. Sorry.
Sam's Club. Let's see. Went to Xmas after work.
So Xmas is supposed to be Sam's Club. How
Oh,
that typo happens, I have no idea, but okay.
I'm just making sure that my busted brain is processing right this morning. Okay, so everybody's saying, "Oh, make your own Purell. Make your own Purell." If you don't have 100% pure grain alcohol, you can't make it with vodka, people. I don't know who's putting these videos out, but you need at least 91% alcohol. So you need a pure grain like Everclear, stuff like that. But I mean, don't believe everything you see. Please go check it out for yourself. I always say that. I try to post links to anything that I have. But I assure you that you need a distilled alcohol that is above 90 proof or 91% alcohol. Oh, I love those too.
These are the only ones I eat. Well, no, there's a store version of these that are pretty damn close. I forget what they are, but we get them at Fry's. So I was answering Byron. He likes the Heinz brand of pickles. No, I don't know what it is, but there's nothing like a Clausen.
I have, excuse me, espresso. It's in a yellow can, and then I mean, I'm not really a coffee connoisseur, but I drink whatever I pick up at the time.
I'm not a coffee connoisseur. Let me show you my little fancy French press.
It's not a French press, damn it. It is a espresso maker. If you've never seen a Marine that hasn't had his coffee in the morning, you'll know. No. So, I know in order to be a E5 or above, this is the grip that you have to have, okay? So, and this is a small cup for that, but this is full of espresso. So there's 6 ounces of espresso in here. Most men can't handle that much espresso at one time. But yeah. There's 8 o'clock coffee is pretty good. I like that one. My mother-in-law.
I was actually surprised by Black Rifle. It's, a little bit more expensive, but I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. And it was actually pretty good.
I have not tried that, but I will.
I don't know if I'm going to be buying it all the time, but, if it does support who they say it supports and all that shit, then, why not?
Okay, so, Brian, did you find the disinfectant that I was talking about? It's in the cleaning aisle / tool aisle / pressure washer aisle in our local store. It wasn't hit real hard because nobody knows. A lot of people didn't know about this unless you do gym cleaning or you have animals. So this was a big thing that nobody was buying this. Everybody's like, oh, let's get the limit 1 of 3 bleach, right? So ideally, that's what you want to have.
He said that he went there and they didn't have it, but now I'm kind of curious if he went to the right aisles. No, he says it was empty.
Okay, so it's caught on then.
Well, I mean, right on it says disinfectant. Anything that's going to say disinfectant on it, probably going to be brought up.
And like I was saying yesterday, this stuff says to leave it on there and let it air dry. Okay, so what that does, because I listened to Dr. Oz this morning. If you don't know him, you need to check him out. He's a brain surgeon or something like that. He's a phenomenal guy to listen to. But he says you need to spray this stuff on and let it dry. And the reason for so is because it actually breaks down the hard shell on the virus and it allows it to swell up, and then it absorbs this disinfectant and kills it. So,
Dr. Oz, is that the same one that has the TV show, Dr. Oz?
Probably same guy. Good morning, Riddle Girl. You are not the Russell Stovers either. Have y'all heard about gas pricing have dropped below? Yeah, it is below. It's $1.80 a gallon in my area, which is
Always
phenomenal.
cheaper in Indiana, though.
No, no. It's cheaper than California, but it's not always.
It's always cheaper than most states. Because you're like right in the middle of the United States, and every major highway runs through it pretty much.
Yeah. Well, we usually go to Kentucky, actually, because it's cheaper down there usually most of the time. Yeah.
Okay. I haven't been to Kentucky as much as I've been to Indiana, I guess.
Over 800 people there, insanity. Yeah, so we did some surveillance yesterday, some intel gathering. We went to a couple local big box stores, Walmart including one of them, and just sat in the parking lot and watched what people were bringing out. Standard, 2 rolls of or 2 mega packs of toilet paper, and not even the same brand. They were just buying whatever was left because they were completely sold out. 3 gallons of bleach, and one lady actually loaded her cart with 10 cases of water and 1 pack of toilet paper. So, and it's funny because I sent some of my close friends a picture of what I was buying. You didn't get it? You didn't get it? I'll send it to you. I sent it to everybody I thought that's on my to-do list, but I sent it, and this lady was just piling them on, right? And my buddy said, one of my other buddies said, you know, why are you nonchalantly just putting chips and lunch meat in your cart? And this lady's panicking over. And of course, we get water too, but it's not for that reason. It's just a grab and go thing. But
only thing you sent me a picture of was your little pistol with the attachment, which I did like. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, the which one? Did I send you the one? They got the new ones, you know, the reloadable 203 grenade launcher. Or
Can I show it or no?
Yeah. Go ahead. Just make sure my name's not on there.
Oh, that was close, bro. That was
Somebody's
close.
Gonna freeze frame it.
Yeah, check it out.
A Lysol sprayer on the front.
Yeah, I mean, if that ain't tactical, I don't know what it is.
So I got an email from Walmart this morning. We'll read it here. It says, "Dear customer, keeping you and our customers, our customer and associates safe is our top priority. So we wanted to share what response we're doing for the coronavirus. With help from the centers or the CDC, as well as our own chief medical officer, we're developing preventative measures to clean daily, healthy environment in our stores." So that's the response to that. I cannot find this damn thing. So on Macari, Wise Emergency Foods, 1 variety pack, 120 ounces sold for $400 last night. Scrambled eggs from a Mountain House, a case of 8 cans, scrambled eggs with bacon, sold for $200. Let me scroll through these pictures and see if I can find it. Yeah, that's an inside joke. All right, so I can't. That shows somebody's face. I'll send it to you though, and you can crop out people. No, I don't want to record voice. I want to send him a picture. So this don't show it on there, but this lady is easily identifiable. But yeah, this is what we're dealing with. All right. So there was 800 people in Brian Morlock's store. Over 800 people. Riddle Girl says they don't want to shut down the schools in Arizona. Well, that's opening herself up for a case of a lot of lawsuits, I assume. Coronavirus is 10 times more lethal than the flu, or they say. That's still developing. I heard yesterday that it was 16% more deadly, and that is not like the flu at all. Brian Warlock says, "Stay safe and God bless, brothers. Back to work. Catch you later." All right, sir. Have a great day. Be safe. Godspeed to you, sir.
Yeah, see you guys. Good luck, man. Try checking on Amazon. Apparently, they're still running. We got plenty of packages the other day.
uh, we'll have to scrub that.
Yeah, dude.
Was it the? I didn't see. Was it the full?
I won't discuss it, but yeah, what I said in there is what it is. But you know, some of these supplies that we're talking about, I would definitely maybe pick up on Amazon. Obviously, do your I forget what you call it, but you know,
Due diligence.
disinfect it. Yeah, disinfect it if you can. If you don't have any disinfectant, you had said to leave it. You're leaving things out for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, 2 days. So they came out this morning and said that it stays alive on paper. Well, this is not paper; it's actually cloth, but it stays alive on this for 2 days. So after you handle this, set it aside for 2 days. And now I've done touched it all, so I'm going to touch my face 100 times. That's been in my pocket.
That's the other theory, right? That's the theory that I brought up a couple of days ago. Is this isn't as bad as they say it is? It's just a way to scare everybody to say, "Hey, we need to get off of paper money. We need to go totally digital."
It is very scary. For the simple fact that it is a bioweapon, and they're not ever going to admit that officially, but it is a bioweapon. It's already had 3 changes. There's already 3 types of it, and they've never seen anything like that. So what only an engineered weapon would cause such a threat, I guess. Unprecedented. We're stopping travel today. I believe it's today that there's no more travel to Europe or from Europe. So if it was just a flu that was more deadly to the elderly, why would they do this? This is questions you need to ask. So
it's for the kids, bro. It's also the kids.
But the kids are not dying from it as much, than the older people.
Yeah, I guess I haven't looked up the age that most deaths, what.
Yeah, it's not the kids. They're worried about the kids bringing it home to the older people. And the older generation are, for the majority, the ones that are saying, no, we're not doing this crap.
I did see that they were locking down, I forget where this came from. It might have came from you. That they were locking down old folks' homes, that you couldn't go visit your family in an old folks' home because, they didn't want you to spread it to them.
Right. So here's the war that's about ready to start between us and China. It's red link on the Drudge Report. I just posted a link there. Excuse me. So Chinese government spokesman says U.S. military may have brought the virus to China. So now they're putting it on us.
Oh, really?
Right.
We did it.
Right.
It happened in Wuhan. You mother. Okay.
Another red link at the Drudge Report we'll post this up as well. World Chinese official pushes conspiracy theory that U.S. Army is behind the virus. All right,
well, at least it's not the Marines.
Yeah, because if that was the case, it would have killed everybody.
Boom! That was a good setup and knockdown, bro. Come on.
Yeah. and I've always said that too. Like if they sent us into Afghanistan, Army, Marines, everybody, right? If they sent us in there and said, "Hey, you're not leaving until the job's done," we wouldn't have a 10-year war. We'd have a 2-month war because ain't nobody want to stay there.
Yeah, but that's not the whole idea, right? They don't want it to end because they're making money.
Right. The military-industrial complex is making all that money. They can't sell jets to everyone on both sides, or weapons on both sides. So, So now it's official. China is blaming us. Brazilian positive for coronavirus days after posing with Trump and Mike Pence. Patients contagious up to 37 days. That's a new update. I was told 21.
Getting longer and longer.
I mean, just the daily routine that we go through, and that's in the Miami Herald also post that up. So now they're saying weeks longer than first thought. I mean, it's phenomenal. This thing is ever evolving. I mean, it could very well wipe out the elder population. And like I said before, that is the diehard people that, you know, like in the gun community. Oh, well, they can take your AR-15 because we don't use them for hunting. Blah 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 blah. But the old people say, hey, no on none of that shit. So the
really?
elder
I don't know about that. I mean, I've met a lot of old fuds in my day. But here's a new fun theory. This is all done under the guise that they can't afford Medicare for everybody. So or Social Security, right? Because it's a scam. So this is the best way for them to get out of having to pay the claims.
Walter Davis says, good morning, hit reminder, and the reminder forgot. No, they're probably blocking me because I said the dirty word toilet paper in my thing because that's a hot topic. What was that? And you're muted. You're muted.
Yeah, that was not supposed to be seen either. I was trying to turn off my camera, turn it around.
Oh, we're on a roll today.
Oh man, it is Friday the 13th. I am really affected. I should not be going out today.
Today is the day that Mr. Stinger, who is not Russell Stovers, is getting his new birthday gift. I won't spoil it, so watch that later. I'm sure there's going to be a video.
Yeah, well, I'll do a live stream on my way to go get it, and I don't know. I don't think I'm going to do a live stream in the store because I would have to ask, and I haven't asked. So.
Define old. Well, they're saying 60 years and older, HVS.
So go cough on all your Congress people and elected officials.
Oh, they're already self-quarantining. They're probably in those damn bunkers that all these millionaires have. What? That's
isn't there still another debate with Joe Biden and Bernie Sanders?
Yeah, well, they're too stupid
Good
to get
luck being president.
Thank you, sir. Or give them $1. Just give them $1.
Yep.
Donate cash to their funds.
There you go.
Walter says, Hawaii, yeah, Allah is great. Laugh out loud. We're the damn infidel. Yeah, we're the infidels. For sure.
That is not
that's from the comment about story about Muslim Iman, who blamed infidels for coronavirus, now has virus himself. Hey. I mean, I feel like everybody's probably going to get it. They also said this morning on the Dr. Oz broadcast I listened to that people that have already had the virus and fought it off, they're taking their antibodies and putting in them people that are in critical condition. So they think they figured it out as far as how to help people that have it that are dying from it. So another red link over here at the Drudge says it's not a hoax. White House speech fails to reassure the nation. Well, it's not like he can come out and say, go buy everything, because they've been telling you all this time. I mean, how many channels have come and gone that are preparedness channels on YouTube that get shadow banned for what they're trying to preach? So, I mean, look at the recession. You know, look at that. People were, I think the numbers between like 70 and 90% of people grew their own food at home, and those people were still in soup kitchen lines. So, yeah, plasma therapy, right? Did I post that one up? 10 minutes at a teleprompter inside Trump's failed attempt to calm virus fears. Yeah, I like the transparency thing is ridiculous. This is a major issue. But just look at the way he talked about it, We're going to ban travel. I mean, that alone, without him saying, in layman's terms, be prepared. I mean, they're going to close down schools for up to 30 days. So, as a matter of fact, I got a email saying that my classes were canceled for farming stuff in March, all the way to March 20th. And the classes will be rescheduled for the hemp class that we were going to attend on the production of hemp. So everybody's going to be home for these 20 or 30 days. And a thing I'd like to say is Redbox, for example. If you're going to the Redbox, you probably shouldn't be, because how many people have fond of those? Now, I believe Redbox has a UV light system on. They're coming out of the thing. They're hit with UV light, but still, I mean, you want to look into that. Mr. TV9, good morning, sir. Hello, I'm looking for a site for silver that doesn't charge me tax. It's not a deal with taxes added.
Well, there's plenty of them if you live in a state that doesn't allow. It depends on what state you live in, though. So there's a state, I forget which one it is. I think it's Ohio, that now has a tax on bullion. So if you live in a state that has made it a law to tax bullion, then every site that sends bullion out will tax you for it because it's the law in your state. However, if you're looking for a bullion, because I've never heard of anyone charging you tax unless you live in a state that charges tax on bullion. But the best site there is to find the best silver and gold, and I'm going to add it into the chats now, is findbullionprices.com. That will give you the best or the cheapest online price. And they also at the top, but the very top, it's the top link, right? So you have to scroll down a little bit, but it's the top link on the left is finding spot price deals for new memberships to different bullion dealers. So this site is not a bullion dealer. It finds the best price on bullion online, and it'll also find you the spot prices for new membership at some of these places. But yeah, as I said, if your state is taxing bullion, then there's none that I can help you with on that. What's up, Mr. Tommy Boy? Oh, you live in Tennessee? I don't know. Is Tennessee? I guess maybe if they would do a sales tax, maybe if they're also in Tennessee. I know not silver, but other things that I buy that are from companies in Arizona, they will charge me a tax in Arizona. Yep. Silver eagles are currency. What you reading, Irish?
I'm just letting you have the floor,
God,
sir.
man.
I'm just posting up articles that I see that are pertinent information. So the reason why they're not testing everyone is because the younger cases, they don't even test them unless you get hospitalized for ICU. So if you're hospitalized, they're doing, I believe it's called brown glass in your lungs. That's something I'll have to look up and find, or you guys can do it yourself, guys and gals. So only if you're severe enough that you need to be admitted to ICU. Are they testing you? So there could be millions of cases that are already happened and people are recovering. But as far as testing, they're not testing those people because that would show the true numbers, and that would really cause mass panic, not just toilet paper purchasing. I mean, people would pull their kids out of school, stop going to work, and it would essentially cause the economy to collapse. So that's my take on it.
Mr. Tommy Boy 9, if you're still having issues, there's other ways you can do it off of eBay. I would only do trusted sellers, obviously, because you got to be careful on eBay. There's also local places like Craigslist and Letgo. Those are great sites to find like person-to-person stuff. Once again, be careful. Make sure you take protection with you. And if nothing else, there ain't no law against straw purchase. So if you know somebody in a state that's not going to get taxed, and you can maybe work out a trade, obviously then you're going to have to pay shipping, which could be more than the tax for all I know. But, there's ways around it, I'm sure. 37 states tax it? I doubt that. I don't know.
No, they changed that. I remember that. I'm not sure it's 37 states, but a lot of states are now taxing bullion.
Yeah, as far as and I'm only kind of new to this, right? But there is one person I follow that has this problem, and I believe he's in Ohio. But most of the states, as far as I know, don't tax it, and that's the only one I actually know of. So why worry about tax? There's a lot of reasons to worry about tax. First of all, they shouldn't be knowing what you got. I can't trust anyone. That's why I live so long. Get you, Mr. Tommy Boy. Another option is I don't know where in Tennessee you live, but if you live near enough to a state that doesn't do tax, you can always go to a coin shop, in a different state. Tennessee, I don't think it's too long to get out of Tennessee from any one direction. You got plenty of states surrounding you, right? So, look at it, see what states don't charge tax, find a coin dealer in those states, and go take a trip. It's a good one to do.
Yeah, fake silver is definitely out there.
Speaking of coins, check this one out. Isn't that pretty?
37-gram gold-plated.
Yeah, copper.
24 karat gold. Is it copper?
It's copper in the inside. Yeah, we did a gravity test on it, which was kind of fun because I've never done it before, right? But yeah, so Irish sent me this. We did a trade for some stuff that I had in a yard sale that he wanted, and he gave me cash and also sent this along. This is really cool. The Bill of Rights. It might not be, it's not technically silver or anything precious, but it's still pretty cool, and I will definitely display that.
I do believe that it is, like, you could strip that down and take the gold content, but it'd only be 23 grams of 24 karat gold.
That's more gold than I have currently, bro.
It was
3 grams.
It was a birthday gift for the birthday boy, so I just threw something extra in there. So
no, that's badass, dude. It is really cool. Thank you very much for that, and I will be displaying that on my table once I clean it off and put it where it needs to go. We're still moving in. We still have boxes that we haven't gone through yet, but we're getting through it a little bit. We've only been here for 2 years. Don't worry, it's fine.
Well, that means you whenever you find a place to go, you can have all your stuff already packed up.
Mr. Tommy Boy don't pay taxes at all, apparently. Anything you can do. Man, if that ain't the freedom mindset, I don't know what the fuck is, bro. You do you. And maybe tell me how to avoid some taxes that I'm paying. Because you probably got some tips and tricks on that I could use. I don't like paying even sales tax. So we got 8% sales tax here. My birthday present that I want to go get, shit, that's gonna be like over $100 in just freaking taxes. So 350 ounces of silver. It's a nice start. One of my silver goals is to do a monster box of American Silver Eagles. That's 500 ounces. And I've got one that's not in a clad, so technically I only got 499 more to go. But my 10-ounce bar did ship, so I should be getting that soon. That'll be fun. 4 ounces of gold. Nice. Get a chain and hang it from the neck. Like a gold chain? Like, I guess they're not taxing jewelry or what?
Oh, that's how people used to carry their wealth. Hence the jewelry. So, I mean, you couldn't put it in a safe back in the day. So, how did you carry your wealth? Well, you carried it on your person. You had gold buttons, rings, necklaces, stuff along those lines.
I've never been a big jewelry person. I still don't even have a wedding ring. We were looking at wedding rings the other day. They had some silver ones for like under $100, which were decently priced. And then there was a gold one for like $800. And I was like, well, I don't have that money right now. But then, we didn't get anything. So I'm thinking, you know what? I bet you that's 14 karat gold, because most jewelry is, so that it can hold up. So I'm like, $800, that seems quite a bit for, 14 karat. So I'm doing the math on my calculator, like, what's 14 karat gold at this weight? I'm like, I'm going to have to weigh that. Next time I'm going to go in there, I'm like, that ring weighs this much. 14 karat gold is worth this amount of money per ounce or whatever. And I think that's only worth $200. So I'm going to Jew them down, apparently. I'm getting a lot more wanting to haggle on prices lately. Financial carnage has only just begun, and the sheeple will be holding plunging stocks until they bleed out and lose everywhere. Yeah, yet they're still saying it's not a crisis. They keep having to put on the safety lever or whatever on it. I never even knew that was a thing until the last few days.
Oh, the circuit breaker pops? Yeah.
Yeah. That seems a little shady as all hell. You're going to force people to stop trading? If that doesn't show non-trust in the stock market and that you should get out now, I don't know what does.
It has a built-in shit hit the fan panic button.
Yeah. Which is kind of like them closing down the banks during a run. When do you want your money out of the bank? Well, by the time there's a run on it, it's way too late. But that's when you start thinking about it, right? Because that's when you know some shit is real. Now they have these circuit breakers on the stocks. Yeah, shit is real. Get your money out now, or put money in if you really want to do the long-term investing when it all comes back, because it'll come back eventually. But if you're close to retirement or whatever, I would have gotten my money out a long time ago. As soon as the coronavirus started affecting it.
What's up,
What's
Tactical Tone?
up,
Sorry,
Tony?
I interrupted.
No. I was saying the same thing.
Walter Davis says, go to the pawn shop for wedding bands. Yeah, that's your cheapest way to buy gold.
That's where I went. I went there. It was $800 for 14. Now, it was a thick wedding ring, right? But it was 14 karat gold. And the price was over $1,000. I didn't say a damn thing. I was like, that's interesting. And she's like, and I can knock that down to $800. I'm like, you're going to take $200 off, and I haven't even started to haggle yet? Oh, we're getting this number low. And when I come up with a couple extra $100, I'm going to be going back there and trying to get that ring. Right now, everything's going towards this other thing. So, yeah, well, the software program breaker is still programmed by human beings in case of this kind of emergency, because of times that it wasn't in place back in the day, like in the 30s or late 29, doesn't matter if it's person or from computers. Get out if you're close to retiring, because this is gonna take probably quite a few years before it rebounds. I would imagine. I'm not a financial advisor, but I'd be getting out. Stock market is shady anyway.
There's just so much information overload. So
Yeah.
Tactical Tone is saying, mustard gas. Morning, gents. Morning, gents. Morning, gents. We have to say Tactical Tony's posts out loud because he's shadow banned from all YouTube things.
Well, half of this stuff's probably not even up on the YouTubes here, because anytime there's a little questionable comment, it doesn't show up on the YouTube. It only goes into our chat here, which I don't know. Maybe it's my settings or something. It could be.
Yeah, I wish HDP would do his, and then I would follow, or maybe I'll be the pre-show, but he's more the financial guru.
Yeah.
I mean, he's well-versed in a lot of things, but he's more financially savvy than I guess I am.
Right. Yeah, he does look at the stock markets. I would like to know his opinion on this. Maybe he'll do a video on it. Maybe I'm totally bullshit. Maybe I'm full of shit, which, it wouldn't be the first time.
I just like things I can hold. So that's my problem with the stock market,
Yeah.
I can hold.
If I can't. If it's paper, it's just, I don't know, man. I have a thing against paper money, or against things that don't have real backing. And stock markets is a whole bunch of, what do you call it, assumptions on whether something's doing good or not. It's just somebody's opinion if this is going to do well.
Without a hard copy, though, if there was an actual EMP from a nuclear blast, all those ones and zeros that you have in the digital realm are gone. You know what I'm saying? So it's never. Stan says, "Let it crash."
And you know what? People that have a lot of silver and gold and are prepared financially for real currency, God-made currency, they're going to be fine. No matter what. And I am not in that group, which sucks, but I'm trying to get there. Breakers don't have the stocks equal to clients. Oh. Got Hawaii on a rant now. Brokerages don't have the stock equal to client statements. Yeah, I don't know. All the markets are overinflated. Paper tigers. Yeah.
Essentially, they're trading. I mean, they're trading stuff that's not there. Like, if you buy, from my understanding, if you buy, for example, silver stocks, right? Like a 401k in silver. They don't actually have the precious metal in their safe at the place you're buying it from. So why would I buy that? I mean, that's like going to a fast food joint and buying a cheeseburger, and you get to the drive-through window and they say, "Oh, well, here's your piece of paper for your cheeseburger. You'll get it next time." I mean,
well, there's a couple places, and I've been doing a lot of research on the whole silver gold kind of thing right now, and I've been watching a lot of silver preppers or bullion preppers, right? And they have their opinions on this kind of stuff too, because like you can buy stocks in silver and gold, but they say don't do it. It's a waste of your investment, because if you're not holding it in your hand, it's not really there. Because they can say that they owe you that amount of silver if you want it, and then they'll send it to you. But if a crash happens, it's every man for themselves at that point. If there is any silver, which there probably isn't technically, because it's all imaginary, it's ones and zeros, right? Then they're just going to take it for themselves. He also went into detail saying don't have them store your silver. There are a lot of silver bullion dealers or golden bullion dealers that will offer you a storage situation, right? Like, oh, if you don't want to have your physical silver that you're buying from us because you don't have any room for it in your house or whatever, you can have us store your silver for you here in our vaults, and we'll keep it safe for you when you eventually need it. They said stay away from that. There's been many cases where if a bullion dealer goes belly up, it's actually in the contract that you signed to store it, say that they will not be held liable for theft or loss of silver, or if their company goes belly up, they're not going to be owed to give you that silver back. Basically, it's a trust system, and there's been plenty of bullion dealers in the past that went belly up, and the customers never saw their shit again. So get it in your cold hands, bury it, put it in a safe, figure something out. But yeah, I would stay away from any paper silver or silver storage places. Have it stored in your own damn house. And the comments are lighting up, so I will hush.
I could offer you a silver certificate, but for me to offer you a silver certificate, I would have to provide you with proof. So like if I wanted to sell silver, say I have 1 million ounces, which would be nice, but I don't. I could sell that as a silver certificate, but I could sell it to 10 people with, the hopes that no one would ever claim it, right? And that's all they're essentially doing. So they don't actually have the 1 million rounds that they're saying, but they're selling you the fact that they do have, which is a big problem for me, because if I, as a business owner, sell you something and I don't have it, and you call and say, hey, I'd like to get that, are you going to be pissed? Yes, but I'm not protected by the federal government, so, it'd be a lawsuit, right? So that to me means a whole hell of a lot more than, you selling me something that you don't really have. So that's why I don't invest in it. I do have some stocks that I buy because let's say, for example, GoPro. I invest in GoPro. And some other little things that I buy. So
yeah, investing in what you buy, I can understand that. But
because
you're not putting a lot of your
no, by no means.
into that.
But like I believe in the company, so therefore I put a little bit of money into it, right? But that's what you're supposed to do. Like I wouldn't invest in something I didn't believe in, especially if you have shitty policies and or anti-gun and stuff, but that's where people are putting their money at, these places that turn around and invest your money and make money hand over fist, and you're not getting the same return, but they're using your money against you. So always look into who you're investing if you're going to.
So Mr. Tommy Boy 9 says, so maybe melt all your gold and hide it in the form of a butt plug.
That's a good way to get vitamins and minerals, I guess.
Yeah.
Derivatives upon derivatives, yep. They just keep selling you something they don't have, so that should be illegal. Mr. T and his golden egg. Yeah, Mr. T had the gold chain starter set, and I'm sure he still has them unless he's fallen under hard times. FDIC has zero money to guarantee accounts. Yeah, they guarantee $200,000, I believe, at most banks. So
yeah, that doesn't mean shit.
If everybody cashed in on that.
It is my opinion, and it's my opinion, so take it however you want, but it's my opinion that you get all your money out of the bank that you don't need, right? So, or need in there, right? So any money that I'm using to pay the monthly bills, I'll keep in the bank because it's just easier, it's convenient. We pay a lot of it online, so that's how much money I'll leave in the bank. Anything extra on top of that, it's coming out of the bank, and a good percentage of that is going into gold and silver. Well, it's going into silver because I can't afford fucking gold.
Well, you can. You would just get a lot less.
Well, you can, but then you have to pay the premium, and I don't want to pay premiums for small ounces of small little pieces of gold, and it's a high fucking premium. I was thinking, I'll just get 10th ounces. 10th ounce that should be all right. The premium on a 10th ounce is quite a bit, So now I'm looking at quarter ounce because quarter ounce is probably the best spot for me to buy a decent amount that I can still technically afford and not pay too much of a premium. But it's all going to have a premium, really. And unless you're getting a full ounce, you're going to pay a lot of a premium on that.
Insurance company is going to go under with this, which is good. Insurance plays this game. It's one of the oldest scams. Says Stan.
The thing is, insurance companies are insured.
By the federal government.
Exactly. So they're not going to go under. They're just going to have you bail them out with your tax money. Add that shit to more of the debt.
And raise your premiums and rates.
The rich, they stay rich. They will figure out a way to stay rich. They ain't going down. Because they'll make everybody else pay for their shit. At least that kind of rich, anyway.
Looks like, well, he was gone there for a second, came back.
Yeah, I'm fine. I just blew my nose. I didn't want to do it on camera.
Yeah.
Allergies, you know. I'll be in the ICU. It's allergies.
So you got my corona-laden package, I see.
Yeah. By the way, props on the tape job, bro. That was an interesting package to get into.
Well, I didn't want anything to fall out of it, so.
No, nothing fell out.
Yeah.
Although the holder for the coin, I don't know if it was already cracked when you sent it, but it's got a little punk taken out of it now.
No, it was in mint condition. I have 4 more sitting here on my desk, so.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they must have really tossed this around the back.
I figured the bubble wrap. Well, I didn't want to open the survival kit, so. Yeah, no, it wasn't busted. Damn, yeah. I must have threw it. Nope, it was in perfect condition. I just didn't want to open the survival kit because it was zip tied.
Yeah. The survival kit is still zip tied. Well, it's still got the little zip tie on it. I haven't opened it yet. I'm like, I probably should, I suppose, so I can throw in like something else. But
yeah, that's the only reason I didn't want to open the damn zip tie. Otherwise, I would have threw it in there. So.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. The little case I have for my Silver Eagle here, it's also cracked and busted. But that's because I dropped it.
Well, I should have wrapped that in bubble wrap. I'll know next time now.
Well, I mean, if you send any more of these out, for sure. Silver spot is 1530. Silver. Let's talk about gold and silver going down in value while everything else is crashing around it. That's unprecedented. Now, some people will say it's because they're manipulating gold and silver so they stop any more of a panic. Because if everybody starts running to gold and silver, that assures that, this isn't just nothing to see here, folks. This is actually, a fucking recession, maybe going into depression.
Right.
And they are trying like hell right now to encourage you to, this is a great time to buy in the stock market while I'm pulling everything out.
Right, and so that's why they're keeping it low. Hopefully, I would love to see silver go back down to, the single digits, and if it does, buy
now if I can.
Right, no, and rightly so. I'm just saying, if it drops below the $10 fucking mark, go buy as much as you possibly can.
Yeah, because that shit's in solar panels, man, and a lot of electronics.
But it's just a good investment, period, because it's physical. You can hold it. You can put it in your backyard in a mono vault. You can put it in your safe. I mean, hell, you can hide it in the fucking walls. I mean, just get it and hold on to it. If nothing else, it's a good investment. If you have children, you can always give it to them. And then, it's not going to ever go away. It's always going to be needed. I mean, just in solder, there's a silver content. So if you buy silver solder, and everybody uses that if you use copper piping.
It's
So
in your phones. It's in your
yeah,
device that you're watching us right now on. It's in every electronic.
the
And
keyboard,
so is gold. Yeah.
the film that's inside there contains silver, or they used to. I don't know about nowadays, but
And I know China had been stocking the hell up on it because they make a lot of the solar panels, so they needed a lot of it. So the amount of silver that is, in coin form or whatever, is getting less and less because, China's taken up, or was before all the coronavirus, was taking up a huge portion of it to do their electronics. Tesla, oh boy, you want to talk about an electric car that uses silver? My goodness, there's silver all over that vehicle, right?
all aviation connections have to be gold plated. So any kind of connection that goes in an aircraft, like the plugs, they have to be gold connectors. And hard plate, I'm sure they got it down to a smaller nano particle, but they used to be all hard plated gold. Stan says even then the insurance company will pay out until they have no more funds, and only the first claimants will be paid out. And so yeah, of course, insurance companies work on the same premise as banks, fractional reserve payouts instead of lending. HVS says silver and gold holding up better than stocks. Tactical Tony says you guys are a good team. Hit the like and share.
Thanks, Tom.
Thanks, sir. You can turn it into buckshot. Yeah,
You can
Stan.
turn it into birdshot too. They have a silver birdshot.
Yeah, Stan. He's referring back to me peppering the gold mine with salt, trying to sell somebody a fake. The lower silver spot falls, the higher the premium will be.
Yeah, I wanted to touch on that just a little bit because there are ways around that. If you go to your local coin shop,
Yep.
they've been buying silver all this time, $17 an ounce for years. It's been right around $16 to $17 an ounce. If it falls, which it is falling, it falls anymore, you'll see them starting to take days off. Oh, we're just, we're worried about the coronavirus. We're not going to come in today. If they then have to come in to do business or they're going to lose their business, they will charge you a hell of a premium on it because of the fact that they don't want to lose money because they're thinking that silver is going to jump the moon too, right? Everybody's thinking this whole nothing to see here, folks, with the economy is going to make silver jump. And if it does, they're really going to be pissed that they sold this silver to you for, close to spot price or $1 over spot. So I want to hit up the local coin stores. I've looked at all my local coin stores. They're all fucking thieves anyway. Excuse my language. But, I take shit into them. No. There was a coin there. Yeah, here we go. I've been trying to sell this. Right? This is a 1986 MS-69 Silver Eagle. I bought this at a decent price, I thought, at the time. Okay? When I bought this, I looked up online how much these were going for on all the websites, MSN Bullion, and all the other sites, right? They were all charging like $65 for this. So I picked it up for $40. I thought, hey, that's not bad. I can flip it if I need to, and maybe I'll just hold on to it because it's kind of nice. Obviously, I wouldn't buy this at like the prices that SD Bullion is selling it for because it's just 1 ounce of silver. It's not even a grade 70, which if it was a grade 70, it'd be worth 10 times more, technically. But I don't like numismatic. I don't like, it's worth more because I say so. So I was looking at getting rid of this. I went to a couple of the coin stores. They're all saying, "Oh, I could only give you like $25 for it." And I was like, "Oh, bullshit! I'm not going to do that." So I go into this other coin store. I'm already kind of pissed, right? And I'm looking at all their stuff, and I haven't asked them, what they'll buy it for. I see this. I actually see this one. Well, not this one, but the same 1986 MS-69, same grading company and everything in their case. So I say, hey, how much is that coin? I'm just curious, so I'm acting like I want to buy it. So I said, oh yeah, that's $60. $60. That's pretty good. Now, how much would you buy it for if I sold you one exactly like that, like this? Pow! oh, we can only give you $25. Motherfucker, I'm out of here, man. You gonna do that to your customers? I ain't got no time for you, man. I understand you need to make money, but you don't need to make that much money. You know what I mean?
So I usually go to my LCS, as the HDP says, the LCS.
That's the cool kids, bro. That's what they all say online.
The acronym LCS. I usually go there and go through their silver that's been circulated. So you can buy the rounds cheaper. Another thing is that a lot of them won't tell you is that if you pay cash, you get a discount on it. So if you want to go in and buy silver rounds, go buy the silver round. Buy the circulated stuff. They'll usually have a box of, and they're not perfect. You know, they're
called
dingy.
Cull, Cull. Cull.
Cold. Okay. I don't know what the LCS that I go to says, but it's circulated. So buy those, buy them with cash, and they'll give you a discount on them because, one, they don't have to charge you for the transaction fee, and depending on how well you get to know them, they may not charge you the tax if it's applicable in your state.
Real girl came back to Oh, not toilet paper? Paper towels.
No, you need paper towels.
Hey, in a pinch, toilet paper.
Newspaper. Just
I
double
don't
up.
get a newspaper subscription.
Double
I got bills. I get used to
Yeah, you have
Amazon
1,000
toilet paper yesterday.
1,000 sheets of printer paper for $9.95, but I'll sell it to you today for $99.95.
Oh, we got our toilet paper, I guess, yesterday from Amazon. So there's a way to get toilet paper if you need it.
They said they sold out of the hand sanitizer at 5 a.m. this morning. There was a line of people waiting to get it.
Mm.
So I got
Witch hazel. Well, I mean, basically, the hand sanitizer is okay, so everybody's buying hand sanitizer. It's going to help me. It's going to help me. Oh, the only time you're going to need hand sanitizer is when you're not able to wash your hands. So if you do go to the store, which is completely, if it's in the atmosphere, they said it can survive, I believe, 3 days. I'll have to find that article. But if say the Walmart or the Target or the Costco or whatever you're in does not have sanitizing UV lights in their central heating and air conditioning, that virus can float around inside there for 3 days after someone's coughed. When they sweep, they're not sanitizing the floor. When they sweep, they can brush it up off the thing. So it can survive floating in the air. Like I said, I need to find the article, so don't quote me on that. Do your own research. But that's what was going around. And then this morning on Dr. Oz, 2 days on cloth material. So what was I trying to get with that point? Damn, I get off on a
Money.
Money
is going to be tainted. Disinfect everything if you can, and if not, I guess leave it outside for 2 days.
All right, so you got me back on topic there, So the hand sanitizer, right, you want to keep it in your vehicle. So whenever you get in your vehicle, ideally you want to do that inside the vehicle, right? So then you're not recontaminating everything. But if you touch your keys again, and you took them out after you handle stuff in the store, you're gonna need to re-sanitize. But the hand sanitizer is not for home use, generally speaking, because you can wash your hands with soap and water, which is the best way to disinfect. Because you don't want to use hand sanitizer all the time; it's going to dry and crack your hands. But if you go out and you have the sanitizer in your car, then you can do
a good, quick thing to do.
Right.
Yeah. Also, what are your thoughts on the sanitizing wipes? You see them at like grocery stores when you get a new cart; they'll have the sanitizing wipes. Is that as good as the hand sanitizer?
Okay, well, those are a Lysol type product. Some places use Lysol, some places use different brands, but I always wipe the cart down. Now, the key is most people will take that wipe and just wipe the handle, right? So how many times do you walk to the store and grab the side of the cart, right, and drag it along? All right.
on that saying one.
Uh-oh.
Hold up. Okay, so she heard me talking about the wipes. First of all, you, Irish, is over there cleaning their fucking carts for free. I mean, with a fucking toothbrush and a wet wipe. That's hilarious, but what were you saying?
So they had a sign on their little dispenser saying 1 wipe per customer, and an employee standing there making sure you only took 1 wipe per customer.
And you should. That's just common courtesy. But you can take the wipe, right? Now, okay, this goes back to my comment about 10 minutes, right? So the disinfectant spray, I'm telling you, you need to wipe it down and let it sit for 10 minutes. So all you're doing is wiping off, right? But you're not wiping the whole cart. So any part of the cart you're going to touch with your hand, you need to take that wipe and wipe it down, right? So the handle part, you run it across there, and that's where people are usually done, right? Well, you're putting stuff in the cart. So if somebody coughed and it's in the cart, you got that too. So I will go around the handle, the cart, and the seat where the child usually sits. And if you have a child that sits inside that seat, you want to clean the plastic flip down thing and everything else more thoroughly. And you can do it with 1 wipe. But as you're walking through the store, the area that you wipe down is going to dry off. So immediately the hand thing is not going to be perfectly clean because it takes 10 minutes for that stuff to dry, roughly. So you're killing what's on there and wiping it off, but you want to also wipe it around the rest of the cart because any place that you touch is going to be possibly contaminated. So that 1 wipe should wipe down everything and then let it dry as you walk to the store. So, but I know a lot of people, they'll drag their cart from, the front of the cart if they're in front and there's another person coming. So
that's the cool way to do it, bro.
Right. So like you got to think about that too. So wipe around the top perimeter where you're going to be touching mainly. I mean, you can't wipe the whole cart down, but
Mr. Tommy Boy said he just picked up 10 silver rounds for $154. So that seems like spot price. Did you use the link that I sent you? Because that's a good link to do.
See, Stan says, told you, got all those stills fired up, get the alcohol going. Yeah.
Right.
It does survive in the air, Stan says, up to 3 hours. Okay, so and that's per person that has it. So if another person has it and they came in, that time lapse is going to be restarted. I donated my largest bottle. Yeah. HVS donated his bottle of hand sanitizer so that people could use it downstairs. But outside the pool, that should kill it all, especially with the humid.
The chlorine will help for sure.
Yeah. Plus the UVC light from the sun. Got to get it by the drum at this point, says Stan. You're probably going to get into some legal issues if you have a 55-gallon drum, unless you have a permit from the federal government saying you're making it for fuel. You already covered Mr. Tommy Boy 9. He got how many? 10 for $154. Okay, that's a good price.
10 ounces for $154. That's really good. That's $15.40 an ounce. That's under spot or right at spot.
Clorox wipes are ammonia based. All right. So everyone doesn't touch and contaminate it. 1 person should be dispensing to people. Spray cart with Lysol spray. Yeah, I don't know about all that because people will be freaking out if you carried a can of Lysol with you. You might get jumped.
Carry your pistol.
You might get jumped.
That's why you carry the pistol.
If you have a can of Lysol with you. Yeah. So now we need to get a hold of SOE, John Willis down there, and say, hey, John, make me a holster for my Lysol, buddy. I don't see where it says.
Is that spray and pray at that point?
Yeah. Surfaces must remain wet for 10 seconds and allowed to air dry. So for Lysol, it's 10 seconds. For the sanitizer, it's 10 minutes.
Mr. Tommy Boy says yes. He got his silver from that website that I shared. Monument Metals had a spot price deal, it looks like, and he picked it up. I haven't gotten the Monument Metals ones yet. I'm doing one of the deals per month. Well, and then I'm also trying to add more in the middle. I'm trying to do it every other week, but this week I'm not doing it because I'm getting my birthday present, which is taking most of my funds, and probably a bad idea. But at the same time, the wife's been wanting to do this for me for about 10 years, so I'm not going to deny her on that, even though, and at this point, I'm kind of excited for it, to be honest. But I would be buying silver right now, but that's the reason I'm not. No taxes. Awesome. You didn't have to pay taxes on it.
So I'm always playing with my 1891 sterling silver, not sterling silver, 999 silver, but
Yeah.
I'm trying
Actually,
to.
isn't that 90%? Yeah, that's a 90% coin, right?
1891, $1.
I forget. Hold on. Let me see it. And it's a Morgan dollar.
Yeah.
I think Morgan dollars and all currency is only 90% silver.
Oh yeah. What I say, 999. I have some 999 from Sunshine Mint, but
What was the year on it?
1891.
1891.
It's probably a numeristic coin because it's in really good shape. But I never got it graded. I did not get
Okay,
it
so a
graded.
Morgan dollar in that year frame, you have one, is worth $11.85 melt value. That's the melt value on it.
So the coin store to be worth 60.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, it's a 90%. It's 90% silver and like a few percentage of copper or whatever, just to make sure.
Longevity.
Yeah. But I will never ask for anything less, at least 12.
I'll never get rid of it. My kids will sell it when I die. So
Yeah, no doubt.
it's the one my grandfather always carried in his pocket. So that's why I keep this one. I don't carry it in my pocket because I'd lose it, but I carry it from the house to the garage and stuff like that in the shop.
So one more comment to Mr. Tommy Boy. There are a couple of those deals where they're only offering 5 ounces of silver at spot. One of them is, I think they're both bars, right? 5-ounce bars. One of them will do free shipping on $99 orders and above, but the 5-ounce bar is less than $99. So if you want to get the free shipping on that one, you have to put a little extra in your cart. Obviously, generic rounds will be your best bet to get it as close to spot as possible, but you will be paying a small premium on the excess of, to get it up to $100. The other one, the other 5-ounce offer, I believe, doesn't have free shipping at all. So if you're going to do that one, you're going to want to buy a lot of stuff to make the shipping worth it. And obviously, it's at a lowest premium you can. Or you can just stay away from it. That's your option. There's also a site, I think, offering for war nickels, which is like 35% silver or 40% silver. I don't remember exactly, but it ain't worth. I wouldn't invest in war nickels, except for they're kind of cool to collect, I guess, maybe. In that, they're a cheap history. But as far as silver stacking, I wouldn't even bother with it.
See, that's the problem, though. You get into coins, and then you're like, oh, I want this coin.
And there's, there is that to it. There
Yeah.
sure is. And I'm going to be bad with that because I do like a collector's thing here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not going to be the majority. I think what I want to do is at least 90%, maybe 95% of just the bullion. And for me, it's going to be the silver eagles because they're currency. They're I can get rid of them almost instantly. So I like the silver eagles. I do like the regular rounds as well. But what was I saying? I will donate. I won't donate. I will allocate a small percentage to just fun stuff. Like they have those new proof quarters out now that are 3/9 fine silver. Actual quarters of the United States. I mean, you can there was one guy who put them in the quarter crushers at Disneyland, where they put a little logo on it, makes it like flat. He was doing that. But they're technically legal tender. Their face value is a quarter. But I think that's kind of cool. So I might pick up a set of that. Probably a lot more than I need to pay for it, but you got to have a little bit of fun in your collecting, right?
Or if it's not fun, don't do it.
Yeah.
Collecting wise.
You gotta balance everything, right? You gotta keep it somewhat interesting. If all I ever did was collect the same damn coin every single time, that'd get boring. That gets boring real quick. Variety is the spice of life.
So the Feds have pumped another $1 trillion into the economy. Stocks attempt to rebound. The worst day since 1987. 150 million Americans could get infected. Complete shutdown on the table. The internet can't save you from loneliness in the pandemic. Coronavirus versus Constitution when liberties meet a pandemic.
Ooh, that's gonna be a good one.
The U.S. considers how to enforce the lockdowns.
Good fucking luck.
I mean, I'm pretty much a homebody anyways because everything I do is on the farm. So
You know, if I don't mind staying in the house. I've done it many a time, and you know, I'm already probably freaked out enough that I would want to do that. But when you start telling me I am not allowed to go outside, that's where I take issue with it. You know,
yeah,
because I know that we're supposed to live in a free country. I know that it's been anything but that for a very long time, but it still pisses me off. And I like to do things that a free man would do, whether they know about it or not. In fact, you know, sometimes I don't wear my seatbelt. Why? Because, you know, I don't want to be safe or because I think they're unsafe. No, I think seatbelts are great. I think they do save lives. But damn it, if I ain't going to stick it to the man saying that I have to wear a seatbelt when it is my constitutional right to not do that. I'm a free man.
so the article well, it's not an article because they took it down, but
Right.
The one I said about U.S. considers how to enforce lockdowns, they've taken the article down, so you can't actually.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it says 404 not found, so the Wall Street Journal is taking it down.
Stan is saying they're going to keep trying QE, quantitative easing. I don't doubt it, man. The bankers, they don't want to lose out. They've been enjoying the gravy train with all this fiat currency for a long time. And that's the whole reason why they keep printing more, so that they can keep making more money on their own. They're the ones that are going to try to like hell to make sure that this doesn't go under, but it's going to go under at some point. It just has to. There's no way you're going to keep confidence in the U.S. dollar for that long. Mr. Tommy Boy is getting alerts from banks and credit card messages, and my bank is now doing safe distancing. Dude, can you please explain that a little bit more? Walter Davis says, hey, Tone. Hey, Walter. When government puts off tax season, it's huge. Did they do that, Stan? Is tax season going to be delayed? That's crazy. Cops don't come out into these parts. Well, good luck, Tone. I mean, you set yourself up pretty nice. You got out right on time. I'm still in the city, so wish me luck. Mr. Tommy Boy, also a message from my bank saying no more coffee and can't use the bath. Oh, they're not giving coffee at your bank and you can't use the restroom anymore. Okay. And that goes to what I was saying earlier. If you got extra money in the bank, whether it be your savings or just money in your checking that you don't use with bills at the end of every pay cycle, get that out. If nothing else, just have the cash itself. Personally, I would go with gold and silver, but it's good to have some actual U.S. currency that you can spend for now, you know, because technically it's still worth the same as it was worth before. Shoot up to Flagstaff. Yeah. I thought about doing that. I don't really have a place up there. My mom still does live up in Ash Fork, but that whole can of worms has passed. I mean, there's reasons why we left Ash Fork, and to go crawling back is not really in me. Stan, Canada's tax season is delayed. Oh, okay, Stan. I keep forgetting you're in Canada, Stan. I'm sorry.
The U.S. is going to be doing it too.
Apparently the U.S. is doing it. Well, yeah, reading more of his comment says, though I've heard Trump say something about the U.S. doing it too. Maybe you're wrong on that one, though. Mr. Tommy Boy, no face-to-face contact with employees at your bank? Maybe get a credit union. I got a credit union. Walter Davis, Tony, your family is still in Nevada. I think. Well, I'm gonna let him answer that one. Mr. Tommy Boy, this just came up. Do transfers online or use ATM? ATM still got its problems. I know Irish is all about that. Boy, he could go on for a good minute with ATMs and why to avoid those with the pandemic. Inherit the earth. Yeah, well, dude, I think everybody who preps has at least one thing they haven't really prepared well enough for, and they know it, right? Obviously, there's probably things that you haven't prepared for that you don't know, but I'm pretty sure if you ask any prepper out there, what's the one thing you wish you had prepared more for, and they have at least one, right? I have more than one, but I think prepping in any one of them hardcore helps with the other ones, right? Because there's bartering, there's other ways of going about it, right? So I have things that I haven't prepped for, but if I need and somebody else has night vision, then maybe I can trade one of the things that I did prep with for the something I need. Our Prime Minister's wife just got tested, may have corona. Ooh, that's a little close to the home in the government there, isn't it? Telling him. Yeah, Tony, good luck with your fam, bro. Stan, they're not community testing, though, just spot testing. More people have it than they're letting on. Yeah, because they don't have enough tests. And the test is only a one-time use, right? So you test for it, and then you go, oh, I'm clear. I'm going to go out and about my day. And then 5 seconds later, you could technically have it and just gotten it. Or you could have gotten the test, and then somebody else went in there to get that test, and they did have it. And now they spread it to you, but it didn't show up in your test because you just got it. So going to get your test you could get coughed on by somebody who actually has it that's getting tested. So I don't know. Shelter in place if you can. Be as diligent as you can. Wash your hands as much as you can. But in my opinion, and my opinion doesn't mean a whole lot, even to myself sometimes. But in my opinion, I think we're all going to get it at some point. This is the new normal. So get it now. Go up to the UK, because I read an article that people up in the UK, they're asking for volunteers and paying volunteers to get voluntarily infected with the virus. Now, I would imagine they're probably paying out a lot. I didn't see how much it was, but a little bit more research, it might be worth it. Get it out of the way, especially if you've already got an underlying condition of something else that, might be in your life prematurely. Maybe that's a good idea, because even if you pass from that, then you can send that money to your next of kin. So either way, it's doing good. Irish is having a good old conversation. Is that with your wife or your grandma?
Be getting monitored under close supervision.
Yeah, no problem. Stan, let's see. A guy here can't get tested for it, even though he hasn't traveled. His wife works with people who have come in contact, and that's where he thinks he got it. But the government won't test because he hasn't been traveling yet. Tom Hanks, but if he dies, he dies. Not a fan of Tom Hanks there, Tone. I mean, I really enjoyed some of his movies. Life is like a vaccine, like a viral infection. You never know if you're gonna get it. It's funny. People give a crap. Oh my God, Tom Hanks got it.
Life is like a coronavirus.
Yeah, that's what I said before, huh? Yeah, I was making that joke to my wife before. Life is like a coronavirus. You never know if you're gonna get it. But it is interesting that it becomes more real for people when somebody they know or somebody who they appreciate and is famous gets it. right? So if it wasn't Tom Hanks, if Tom Hanks didn't get it or whatever, right, and it was their cousin, then it would also have the same effect, or actually probably be a little bit more, I would imagine.
You bet your ass Tom Hanks is rich and he got his test.
Yeah, he got his
He's going
test.
to have the best care and he's going to live and be fine.
Yeah, he's in Australia too, so I mean, it's not like a third world country. Instead of Hank shooting his 45 at the tank, he should have turned it on himself back then.
Oh.
Yikes. Wait a minute. I'm trying to get this reference, Mr. Tommy Boy. Shooting the 45 at the tank. Are we talking like Saving Private Ryan? Because it's been a minute since I watched that movie, so. And even then, it would have been in film, so he would have been fine because he's died a few times in movies, I'm pretty sure. No, dude, but I used to love Tom Hanks back before everything was political, and I could actually enjoy a movie. Oh, the glory days of the 80s and the 90s, right? I love Splash, The Man with One Red Shoe. Fucking, what was the TV show where they dressed up like girls to get a cheap apartment? Oh, fuck, I forget that one. You know what it is, you old timers out there. You remember seeing that old show, I'm sure. Stan, LOL, you can bet he's scheduled and being taken care of and not general quarantine area. Yeah, I'm sure he's not with the general pop. He's got his own special area for sure. Mr. Tommy Boy is saying yes. I'm guessing that reference to Saving Private Ryan. Tom got quite embarrassed by Ricky Gervais at the award show. Did he? I saw some of the Ricky Gervais stuff. Fucking classic shit, dude. I love that. But I don't remember him mentioning Tom Hanks by name. I liked him also back then. He's a good actor. He is a good actor, and I wish actors would do their job and shut up about their policy beliefs. And to be honest, I say that, and I'm like, I really wish, you'd just leave politics out of it and do your job. But when they come out and they do politics about somebody that I appreciate, or even musicians, I haven't seen an actor do it yet, but like, you get some actors and musicians out there that they're, believe the same way you do, and you're like, oh yeah, I like them even more. And I try not to get into that whole cult of personality aspect of it, because really, I think they all should shut up, whether I agree with them or not. That's what I think, right? But I do kind of appreciate ones that do agree with me. But I'll tell you what, Bosom Buddies, thank you, Stan. That's exactly what it was called. The TV show with Tom Hanks. That was a hilarious TV show back in the day. But I forgot where I was going now. Oh well. I just wish they would all stay out of politics. It would make it a lot easier. There we go. He didn't, but the camera panned to Tom, and he was quite mad, embarrassed by his look. Yeah, well. Oh, and then they showed, what was it, just recently, they showed Michelle Obama talking about Weinstein and how great of a person he was. They were giving him some sort of an award, I think, at the time. What's up, Irish?
All right, I'm back.
Good, because I want to turn off my camera and eat some of my breakfast.
All right, so the wife was just in here conversating some logistic stuff that we have to take care of with our children. So,
Now they're not going to be in school?
Well, we got inside knowledge, insiders that are telling us that all the schools are going to be meeting today at 11:30-ish about the school closings. So that's to come, which we already know they're going to do that. I'm just trying to find some of the information about the metropolitan area, because all the principals and stuff met the other day to talk about this, and they all agreed that they were going to do it at the same time. But the other schools decided, hey, we're just going to shut it down no matter what. So without telling the other schools, so the other schools are panicking now because the majority of the metropolitan schools have closed. So it looks like, let me open this up. So many pop-up ads for a freaking news station. All right, so it looks like they have a delays closing, so there's 11 closing alerts. Schools prep. Kentucky, Indiana school districts have canceled due to COVID-19. Breckenridge County schools from March 16th to April 13th. So there's a lot, and most of them are going to do the cyber instruction, is what they've planned on doing all this time. That's why they have went to MacBooks and did away with the textbook. So they're doing, and they've already closed a lot of them after, like I said, they were going to not panic and leave everyone at home. But they did. So Indiana, Kentucky schools districts have canceled to prevent the spread, even though it's not technically here. Purdue University, Indiana University is also closed. A lot of the colleges have already closed. So I could provide that link. I know nobody, maybe somebody's watching, but it is in my area. But they've already closed the following schools. Links in.
Well, this is going to go on nationwide for sure.
Right, and well, that's just because they don't want to get sued for infecting people. You know, they want to.
They know it's a petri dish in the school.
Yeah, but here's a funny thing. The school is still making the teachers come in to school, so the teachers still have to go to school and use the school's internet to teach from school, even though the students won't be there.
Okay.
Nope, just an old guy in a chair at home in Chicago. Mr. TB9, you're in Chicago?
I thought you said Tennessee.
Yeah, I thought so too. I would definitely stay in if you're in Chicago.
Hell yeah.
That's the disease infected place anyways. I mean, with all the travel in and out, that's a hot spot for people to visit. So I'm awaiting a package from USPS for a connector that's bad to fix my car. Been down a week. Stan says our schools in this province are shutting down for an extra 2 weeks after March break. That's what we assumed was going to happen here, but apparently they're going to go ahead and go off of the Kentucky metropolitan area and close all that down. Yeah, the Catholic schools are even shutting down. So I know they were, the Pope's telling everybody to go out and hang around. And so Kentucky I've already talked about that. They do have a confirmed case.
I don't know. Anything the Antichrist tells me to do, I'm going to do the opposite if I can help it.
Hand washing takes forefront in coronavirus. I mean, that should be paramount in everyday life. I mean, people are nasty. They pick their nose and then they touch everything in the store. I've always been a proponent of that. Like I tell my kids, don't, like you see kids walking down and through the cooler area and just rubbing the entire cooler area and touching everything in the store. Like they're like little petri dishes just touching everything. And I'm not like a germaphobe, but wash your hands, bro. Like don't touch your junk and walk out of the bathroom. I mean, that's just disgusting. You're going to shake somebody's hand or touch something that somebody else is going to touch and possibly touch their face with. I mean, but then again, we have people going out and licking ice cream and putting it back in the damn freezer. So, I mean,
that's probably what started this whole mess.
Common sense is not a common virtue anymore.
No.
For all those who are still interested in farming or gardening, small scale gardening, Here's the link to the USDA's website for your plant hardiness zone. So if you're still interested in that, we'll get back to that as soon as the less sensational stuff is about. But currently, I'm about 6 weeks out from planting in the ground, and I like to go ahead and get all my plant starts done so that I can transplant a plant into the ground instead of start a seed. So I'll do some videos on that when I get a chance. There's a lot of things going on right now, so I'm not doing a whole lot of videos. This is my only time in the morning. Wife wants to remodel everything. It's spring. I have to get that done before planting. Every chance I get, I'm on the tractor or behind the shovel. So, see, Mr. TV9 says that was Marvin the Boone in Chicago. Stan says we just about to say that the ice cream liquors. Yeah, I mean, society today. I mean, whenever you're eating a Tide Pod, I mean, you wouldn't drink bleach, right? But people do stupid things like the cinnamon challenge. I don't know if you've ever seen that.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, you wouldn't put a whole bunch of powdered sugar in your mouth, much less cinnamon. I mean, come on. It's going to automatically stimulate a response. Like you wouldn't take chicken salad. Okay, let me back up. Chicken salad is not something that civilians know. CS gas. I mean, you wouldn't take CS gas as a fun thing to do and snort it, would you? No, because it's going to fuck up your nasal passageways. But
No, but you're misunderstanding, right? Because they're not doing this to be anything other than viral. That's all they care about. Because if they're being noticed, whether it be positive attention or negative attention, it doesn't matter. Negative attention is just as good to them. They're going to do it so that they can be famous or infamous on social media of your choice. Insert here, and take off. Because that's the whole thing, right?
You're right. Well,
so they're doing the most stupid things that they can think of to do just to be noticed. It's like a kid who is being a troublemaker just to be noticed by his parents. Because these kids are probably not getting noticed enough by their parents or the people are actually around them. So they're going to do it online to do it. And then they get famous on YouTube for doing this or whatever media platform it is. And other kids who want to be famous or have people like them then do it too. And that's how you start getting the whole stupid movement.
So this virus is obviously deadly because it's underreported, but I've heard reports, and here's one of them. I've seen reports that people are dying within 72 hours of contact, but you don't know their underlying issues and stuff to report it. But this goes back to the empty harvest. You're not getting your nutrients. People are nutrient deficient.
Yep.
And the healthier you are, I think Dr. Oz said something about that today. You need to eat your green leafy vegetables. So consider your daily diet. Like if you eat out, what kind of green leafy vegetables are you getting? If you get a salad, yes, maybe.
So you see this? This is a big dude, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not starving Marvin over here. All right? I got a little extra weight on me. I went to Tennessee a few years back to a fat camp, right? To lose some weight. And they did a test on me. I forget, it was a P test or some kind of test. I forget what. But they were looking for nutrients that are in my body.
Mm-hmm.
And it came back that I was not only malnourished, but severely malnourished. Like if I was living in Africa with one of them really big extended bellies.
Yeah, extended gut.
And I was like, are you kidding me? Does this look malnourished to you? And it was a very big eye-opener to me that, yeah, because I'm eating shit. Mm-hmm. I'm eating stuff that has no nutrition at all. It's just empty calories, right? I'm using a microwave to reheat my food, which then kills all the nutrients in said food.
Right.
And how many nutrients are in a corn chip, the world may never know.
Right.
But yeah, that was a shocker to me.
Well, I mean, if anybody follows me on Instagram, you'll see that for my morning breakfast, I usually have 3 eggs, a cup or 2 of fresh raw spinach, organic spinach, Sometimes I have chicken breasts and broccoli. I mean, I try to put, green leafy vegetables in everything. So, I mean, it sounds bland, but people don't use spices anymore. Everybody's a salt and pepper kind of person. So if you actually look into actually seasoning your food, it doesn't get bland and nasty. There's a lot of guys that you can watch. You can watch them on YouTube, where you can spend $100 and survive for a week on it, right? And this is like bodybuilding guys, muscular guys. And I'm not the specimen carved out of granite or anything, but I do try to eat better and I work out 5 to 6 days a week. So, but it's essentially what you're putting in your body is what you're going to get. So, like I've noticed, we do eat out occasionally, and say McDonald's, for example. I can go there and eat a Big Mac or a quarter pounder with cheese and a fry, and I don't drink soda, so I usually have a tea or a water. But I can eat that, and then 30 minutes later, I'm fucking hungry again. And like, I just noticed that I eat clean, 99% of the time, and I'm full. Like there's times whenever I change weightlifting plans, and it calls for 6 eggs, 2 cups of oatmeal, and all this other shit. And I'm thinking, man, I can't even eat this crap, but I could go to McDonald's and eat 6 Big Macs and not be the same full off a meal that I have measured, my 6 to 8 ounces of protein, my 2 or 3 cups of vegetables, and my cup of oatmeal. So the fullness factors, I don't understand it. Like, I'm sure there's some kind of science and stuff you can look up, but like, I just don't understand how you can eat and eat and eat at a fast food joint. I know it's empty calories, but
yeah, well, for one, it is, right? That's like the worst place you can go. That is one thing I'm proud of myself for doing. I don't eat fast food anymore. Well, take that back. I don't eat a lot of fast food anymore.
Yeah, occasionally everybody does, yeah.
There is Filiberto's. I don't know if you probably never heard of Filiberto's.
No.
But it is the most delicious of all the Mexican fast food joints around here. Right? They have a carne asada burrito where it's pretty much a steak burrito with a little bit of with a little bit of the onions and the tomatoes. Right? I can't have that right now because I'm on keto, and that's anything wrapped in a tortilla is not keto. But when I wasn't, I would eat there once in a while. But I came to the conclusion before I was on keto, and I've been trying to lose the weight anyway, or just live healthier, right? Just live healthier, is if I'm going to put calories in that are not on diet or whatever, like if I'm going to eat a piece of dessert. And I did this at a buffet. This was at an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet, and it was shit, right? It was just like, right? Yeah. And I'm eating their desserts, and the desserts are also, And while I'm eating it, I'm coming to the realization, like, how many calories did I just intake for? Fuck that shit. If I'm going to put in calories like that, it's going to be awesome, bro. I'm going to the Cheesecake Factory, and I'm going to get a big old steak from
Killing
Outback
it.
Steakhouse.
Killing it.
If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it upright. Screw the fast food anymore. So we don't really eat at fast food, especially now that we're on keto. But if we do, it's usually just the Mexican place, which isn't horrible.
Or In-N-Out with the protein.
In-N-Out's pretty decent, Well, we've been eating at In-N-Out while we've been on this diet. We just don't get the bun or the fries, which is very sad.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent of fries. I'm obviously
I'm a potato guy.
I'm a potato head from my ethnical background.
Yeah.
We lived off potatoes.
So I'm saying, if you're gonna go out to eat, make it worth it.
Yeah, we
it's
grow.
Not something you do all the time.
We grow our own potatoes. I eat sweet potatoes. I do occasionally on a weekend have donuts. I'll have 3 or 4 donuts. That's like kind of like my cheat day, my cheat meal.
No, I get the donuts, right? Because they're fucking delicious. But do you get really good donuts, or do you get the crappy donuts from the Circle K, or whatever you're?
I get the really good donuts, and I'm not giving away my spot. So
no, that's fine. But if you're gonna do it right.
The place has been open since 1930s. So,
Wow.
but yeah, like what you intake is also what a lot of problem is. So I mean, I try to eat clean. I try to grow most of my stuff. We don't have cattle right now. My father had to have some surgery, so we don't have any cattle right now. And because I can't take care of them on my own, and both my older boys are in college right now, so they're busy with that and working. But as far as the gardening and stuff like that, we do.
You said you
Do, yeah.
Doo-doo
Stan
brown.
says germ Nazi. Tony was apparently a germaphobe before it was cool.
do.
Stan says, does it mean reheating your coffee and the nuker kills the bad stuff? I don't know.
I know
Soy,
if you.
yeah, I don't eat soy. No soy whatsoever. It actually raises your estrogen level if you're a man. So, like my protein bars and stuff, I have to be very choosy because a lot of them use soy protein. And even though it says it's non-GMO, too much soy in your diet raises estrogen level in men, which also grows man boobs. So all the processed crap uses soy. Yeah, no soy, no soy, no soy. Soy should be used for plastic. So anything that you can make plastic out of, I'm going to try to avoid. Plus, I don't need any estrogen. That's.
What made me realize about the microwave is when I saw about the study that they did with them watering two plants. It was one plant was watered with normal water. The other plant was the water was microwaved, let to cool to be the same temperature as the normal water that was being watered to the plant, and then watered to the plant. And the one that was receiving the water that had been nuked in the microwave died very quickly because there's just nothing in that water that's alive anymore. They killed all the nutrients in it.
It's like putting distilled water on it. There's no nutrient content in it. So, yeah.
Yeah, and if it does that to water, I mean, it's doing that to all your foods, most likely. Now, maybe the severity is a little less because food is more dense. I don't know. Don't get into the scientific part of it that much. But all I know is if it does that to water, I'm not going to be doing, I avoid the microwave at all costs. I have a toaster oven. We do have a microwave because if we have movie night and we have popcorn, which we don't have popcorn now because it's not keto.
And probably GMO.
Right, but I mean, if we're gonna have, fuck, dude, if I got on GMO, I'd probably go nuts. But if we do have popcorn on a popcorn night or whatever, it's just easier. It tastes better than an air popper, right? Because air poppers are the consistency, right, is just better in a microwave popped thing. So for that, it's a convenience.
Have you heard of a Whirly Bird? WHIRLEY. It's a company out of Indiana that makes the original hand popper that goes on the stove, and you rotate.
Yeah.
That's what I use whenever I make popcorn. I don't eat popcorn that much, but yeah. Tony says
I've tried stuff kind of like that. I mean, I haven't tried the one you put on the stove and do it, but I did have one that was electric that had a thing that would spin and you'd use the oil, and it just did not come out like movie theater. So I haven't tried the other one, but that one's like $20. You can buy that at Bed Bath & Beyond for like $20 when I saw it.
Yeah, Whirly Pop is a local place, but let's see. I'll open it up here and share that. That's what I've used. I have an old one, so it's probably not the best because it's aluminum, but So back to the eating out stuff. I use because I take the wife on date night a couple times a month, and we'll eat out. But if we eat at a Mexican restaurant, I will have fajitas, but I won't eat the wrap or whatever. So there's ways to eat out and still eat semi-clean. So Tony is obviously going through the racial slurs that are involved with Mexicans and rice, Italians and pasta, Asians and rice, Irish and potatoes, of course, and Italians and pasta again. So, yeah.
Tony doesn't use microwaves at all for the last 10 years. That's good. You know, when I first brought that up, boy, I got a lot of squawking from that one. I don't want to use a microwave anymore. What?
How you cook up your crack rock, Tony? How you turn it into crack? If you're not using the microwave, you got to at least microwave it a little bit to form the paste. Come on now. 2 parts soda, 1 part
I
Coke.
figured how many nutrients are in popcorn anyway at that point, you know. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll get a $10 microwave for just popcorn. Yeah, it gets used for more than just popcorn when I ain't looking. I'll tell you that much.
I don't honestly remember when I use the mic. I do use the microwave, but it's mainly to put my plate in there, so that I can eat after I'm doing whatever I'm doing. But
Right.
you forgot Germans and strudel.
That's sauerkraut, wasn't it? Sauerkraut.
Yeah, kraut. Yeah, definitely
Dude, I'm
sauerkraut.
making my own sauerkraut right now as we speak. It's gonna be so good.
Yeah, you're all fancy and stuff. Got the little the burper and everything on it.
Yeah.
Das Strudel. And I have my Kaffefe. I think's how Tactical Tony says it. Kaffefe.
You know, I'll
How
show
do
a
you-
picture of my.
How do you say espresso? Tony's starting a whole new Ebonics language.
I tell you, he's pretty talented at it for sure. So here's my setup. This is a half-gallon mason jar that you can buy at Walmart. That's where I picked these up anyway, half-gallon. And in here, obviously, is the cabbage. I have some Clausen dill pickle slices in there because I'm trying something new. And then the red thing in the jar is a solo cup with some holes in the bottom, and it basically is in there just to keep the cabbage down underneath the water. And then, of course, up here we have a stopper, and then my S-lock water lock that is a burper that basically allows the gases to go out, but doesn't allow anything to come back in. Put that on the counter for about 2 weeks or a week or so. And basically, when it changes color from this color here is fresh, and when it's more of a yellow, that's when it's all nice and done. So yeah, that's my little sauerkraut that I'm making.
Breaking news. Bolsonaro tests positive days after meeting with Trump. So I will put that link up. I just seen that Drudge was updating for some reason, and I did not manually update it. So sounds like it might be in the White House.
I gotta read that.
That's from the DailyMail.com.
Oh, so he's still gonna meet with the guy even though he's tested positive for it?
It looks like it.
What the hell's up with these ads?
Yeah, I know that. That's the only unfortunate thing. Like,
It's mad that you're using an ad blocker.
Oh yeah, it won't even let me watch or look at the site now because we see that you're using an ad blocker. Please view our guide and disable your ad blocker. Fuck you, I'm not disabling my ad blocker. That's why I have you to tell me what the story's all about.
so the Los Angeles Times is also another article that's interesting. They survived the coronavirus, then they tested positive again. Why? So after weeks of confinement in their apartments because one person in the building had tested positive for coronavirus, they were throwing a party to celebrate his recovery and their release. It was February 24th with Mr. Wang, a resident of Zhangyu in Jiangsu province. I butchered that, I'm sure, all to hell. Appeared to emerge victorious from the month-long battle with the illness. 75 residents in the building gathered downstairs to greet Mr. Wang with bouquets of pink flowers and a cake with a flamingo on it and a red banner that read, "With strong neighborly feelings, we welcome you home." They pressed in close around him and got a photo, which they posted up on the local news. 3 days later, though, Mr. Wang tested positive for the coronavirus again. So apparently his he did not clean his apartment, or it was not thoroughly cleaned. Wow, I'll post that article up as well. So it looks like you can reacquire it. Maybe it's a different strain because, as we know now, there's two confirmed and a third possible strain. So, wow. And it was a month-long battle, is what they said. So, this, he's had it for a month. So let's talk about that briefly. What kind of supplies and stuff should you have if you're going to battle something for a month, right? I know preppers, whatever you want to call them, go extensively in this. Like, say, if you receive a wound, right? Just the amount of bandages you're going to need to sustain yourself in a grid down situation goes far beyond that $20 first aid kit that you can acquire from the big box store, right? So what kind of stuff are you going to have to prepare if you're going to be a month with the sickness and then possibly reinfected? So your 2 packages of toilet paper are not going to last you that long, right? Unless you're a single person. So that's something to think about too. Like, think about the triage stuff. If you get a cut, are you going to go to the hospital and possibly be infected or reinfected? Tony says, okay, let's see. Go back up here. Trump probably has it, says Stan. He looked like shit, Stan. He looked like he just got out of the tanning booth. Stan says, and was in there for too long, so he looked like a rubber sole on a shoe, or somebody that looked like tan leather. We're going to war. That's all I know. Only way out of this. Well, China's saying that we gave it to them. The army gave it to them. So
yeah.
I would be more apt to think the Air Force did, because they're the one that has most of the secrecy stuff. But
if nothing else, it's gonna suck no matter what, because people are gonna die. People already died, right? But if this wakes up more people to at least being prepared for this kind of eventuality, and then you see that preppers maybe not be as crazy as everybody claims they are, maybe it's a good thing, because some lessons can only be taught in the hard way.
Right. I know people live paycheck to paycheck. Everyone does, unless you're a millionaire. But, ACP did a great video on buy a few extra cans. Alaskan Prepper does these videos. He lives in Alaska. It's not affected yet, but he's still preparing. Why? Because winters are hard. Times get hard. And if nothing else, if you just simply do the same thing the store does by rotating your canned goods, building a shelf or buying one, put the newest stuff in the back, and then take the stuff that you use every day and stop eating out, rotate it like that. You don't have to have anything fancy. Start your garden. I square foot gardening. I have the Master Gardener program that I've done. I grow stuff all the time, but I still buy books, because one little thing that you can learn from anything. So square foot gardening. You could start a square foot garden. You have the space. If you have grass, if you have a balcony, you can do this. Except for HVS, because he's trying to sell his pimp pad. But, the seed bombs, which I talk about, go out in your community on those hiking paths and toss out seeds. This book was printed in 1981 and still used to this day. If you do herbs, you can do these this way, unless you're using mint, because the mint will spread everywhere. But knowledge is key, and you need it. So learn it. Learn how to grow your own food. There's no more security, better security anyways, than food, right? Now everybody will be like, oh, you got to have my AR-15 and my 50 caliber rifle. Yeah, I got it. That's security too. But if you can't eat, all your stuff that you've collected over these years is going to go to the wayside. If you got 50 guns, somebody else is going to take those.
Hey,
What?
you're talking to the wrong person today.
I'm just preaching to everybody. I'm not. No, everybody likes to collect things, right? I got you. But food. I mean, you're trying it. You're doing it right. You've set out your garden. I mean, you've had some misfortunate fucking mishaps where you've had to move, but at least you're still trying, right? You still have a plot right over that way, I think, over your right shoulder. So you're still trying, right? And that's trial and error, right?
Do what you
can. That's an old book. You could probably get that for $4 or $5, right? You can also go to the Amazon retailer and get groundbreaking food gardens. You can get quarter-acre gardens. I mean, you can grow enough food to feed a family of 4 on a quarter of an acre and have livestock. I mean, you don't need a super extensive plot. Like, you don't need acres and acres and acres because with square foot.
However, have to have the right animals for that. I mean, you can't have certain animals in different cities because, and I know this because my mom tried to have goats in our 1 acre area, or I think it was like 2 acres, maybe 1.5 acres. But city didn't like that too much. So, but we could have chickens, right? So you got to see which animals are allowed in your area. Obviously, if you live out in the country, you can have more things.
Right. And now I think they've classified chickens as pets.
Yeah, that's why you could have them in the city.
So, I mean, they spend more money trying to collect cats and cull cats and dogs that are running wild than.
Well, nowadays and ages, though, I mean, maybe you can have goats and cows in your city. You can just claim that they're, your what do you call that? When your animal that comforts you. Your comfort animal?
Service animal.
Yeah, just call them a service animal. Shit, you got that one lady trying to get a peacock on a plane. So it's a service animal. And at that point, they're being discreet, or they're discreet. I can't even talk today. They're discriminating.
Yeah. It just and a lot of this is because people are uncleanly. So I understand the health department issues with people keeping animals like that, but it comes down to being your cleanliness routine, right? So if you have animals like that, you should take very good care of them like you would a child, because 1, they're producing food for you that you're putting in your body, and 2, nobody wants their neighborhood to smell like crap, right? So if you do have chickens, you take that and put that into a composter or compost pile. And if you do it properly and keep it shielded from the rain, you're going to have less stench. In Europe, a couple articles that I studied, they actually use the compost pile to heat their water during the winter. And it's a rather large compost pile. I think it's 32 feet in circumference, and then they put the black, not Tyvek, black PEX pipe and coil it up, and then they build their compost pile on top of it, and then that feeds into the house, and so the compost heats their water. You still have a water heater, which can be powered by the sun if you convert it over to 12 volt. Passive solar, and you don't even need batteries for that, because you can just wire up the charge controller to the 12 volt elements in your water heater, and it'll keep the tank warm during the summertime or the daylight. The compost pile will provide heat throughout the night, so there's ways around it if you just do the research. Stan says freezer full, med kits stocked, board games ready. In case power goes out, our power producers are sending home all unessential personnel, including the cafeterias. China blaming U.S. for the bioweapon. Yes, I posted articles about that earlier, Tony. Wina blames everyone else. They're too superior to make mistakes. Same mindset they had at, silver's down to 15.414.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
China Lab has had leaks. Okay, scroll down on me. Yeah, they've had leaks before. And of course, they're not gonna accept the blame, even though that's the epicenter, like Stan's saying. Just gonna start eating rabbit food from now on. Tomatoes. You might have a problem with that because it's highly acidic there, Tony. I think,
tomatoes are a fruit and not keto.
right?
Got a lot of carbs.
But they're highly acidic, so you can't eat them all the time. Otherwise, you'll be
cold sores, or not cold sores. Those
yeah, you get mouth sores and stuff.
Yeah.
This is, I think they said China is one way to travel centers where vacationers are normally walking in the streets and beaches. UFC is holding events. Fuck Trump. I mean chump. Mr. TB9 says. Yeah, so like I was saying, if you have chickens, clean up after them. You know, that's the main thing. That's why they don't want them in the cities, because people are nasty people. People don't take care of their animals, period. Like, look at dogs. I mean, how many dog rescues are there? Cat rescues, you know. Cats will fend on themselves, but I mean, when there's too many, you obviously get nasty cats. But scoop them up, take them to the. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But Tony was like, "No, that was just a generic emoji. LOL, you didn't mean tomatoes."
Oh. So while you were gone, I was talking about how in Europe they use compost piles to heat the water during the wintertime.
Yeah.
And taking your water heater and converting at least one of the elements to 12 volt, and you could get a solar panel, and then it'll help provide some heated water for you as well during the daytime. Let's see. That was a generic emoji. There we go.
Thanks, Tony.
Hit the like and share, folks. Thanks, sir. Got to get these chats out. Yeah, just reach as many people as we can. If nothing else, you know, one person learns something, that's all that matters. And then they can go off and share that knowledge. I just don't have a lot of time to do actual videos anymore, so I'm always and there's a lot of cursing when I'm doing projects, so they're not kid friendly at all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? They're like, well, you're not going to get advertising if you cuss in your videos. And then they're like, well, you're not going to get advertising if it's a kid, if it's, going towards kids. So all the gaming channels like Jacksepticeye or whatever, who used to curse all the time, stopped cursing because they were losing revenue. And now they're cursing again because they want to prove that they're not for kids. It's like, yeah, it's a bad time to be a YouTuber that counts on Google checks.
Yeah, I quit that a long time ago, so I don't even care about that.
Here. I actually still get one once in a while, probably like 2 to 3 a year for $100 here and there. So, I mean, it's fun when I get it, but I'm definitely not relying on it.
So it looks like Mr. TB9 is going to leave. There's 4 other chats, I guess, that came up he wants to watch. Yeah, we're about done. I have things to do today, so it's been 2 hours. Thanks for everybody for watching. Remember, thumbs up, thumbs down, bitch, moans, complaints, leave them in the comment section below. And if you want to get in touch with me, all my information's in the comment section underneath the video.
And if you want to support him and what he does, the links are in the description below, because he ain't making nothing on ad revenue. Hey, if you won't pimp it out, I will.
So that's today's show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for Mr. Stinger over here, who is not Russell Stovers, for joining in again. And thanks for all that's watching. And hopefully we learned something. Stay safe, Godspeed, and Semper Fi to all my brothers and sisters out there. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow, probably.